She said, she'll take me anywhere, she'll take me anywhere, as long as she stays with me. She said, she'll take me anywhere, she'll take me anywhere, as long as I stay queen. Yes, yes, Molly's lips. Yes, yes, Molly's lips. Yes, yes, Molly's lips. Yes, yes, Molly's lips. Hey, Mean Matt here. And I was watching Wrestle Talk and they were doing their own Royal Rumble, I guess, best and worst winners, and I thought that was pretty interesting, and I thought, alright, man, I won't do something like that, I don't want to copy, but what I want to do instead is talk about wrestlers that should have won instead of the latter. Now, I have 7 here, and there is one that I'm not sure why I put on here, but yeah, we'll see. But anyways, let's get to it. We'll start off with Sasha Banks. And I mean, look, I understand it was the pandemic, and they were going to have WrestleMania 36 at the Performance Center. And the thing is that, okay, Charlotte Flair won. Despite my feeling,
WrestleMania was really good. Really good's an understatement, but
the thing that really irritated me was the fact that Charlotte Flair didn't need to be in there. They had a lot of other people, and I know that Sasha and Bayley were, I believe, the tag team champions, so initially that wouldn't have worked. But if you were going to do this whole Bayley those straps or Sasha too, but whatever it was, you know, either have Sasha win the Royal Rumble in 2020 and then have either Sasha face Rhea for the NXT title, because I'm assuming Rhea was going to have an opponent anyways, and whoever it was would have been the winner of the Royal Rumble. So I'd either have that or go on to have Sasha versus Rhea versus Charlotte in a triple threat. If you're insistent on having Charlotte Flair in the match. But we got what we got. And it's, again, I'm not trying to be biased because or not biased, I don't like Charlotte. And I know she's due to come back soon, hell, maybe tonight. But I don't like Charlotte. I think Sasha, even though she had a match with Bianca at WrestleMania 37, so I mean, that was cool. It was one of those things where it's like, hey, let's have her win the Royal Rumble. And again, it all comes down to, okay, maybe let's not, I don't know. It's weird to me because I feel like they could have used Sasha a little bit more. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. That's just my opinion. Sasha Banks should have won instead of Charlotte Flair because Charlotte had a lot of opportunities in WWE, and she was already the WWE Women's Champion, Divas Champion, and I think she was the Women's NXT Champion. I'm not quite sure about that. They could have had a better opponent for Rhea that year. Next on my list we Royal Rumble 2000, we have, I put the Big Show. Now, it was Big Show and The Rock, the last two in the ring, and I thought, okay, I like The Rock as the winner. Unfortunately, things didn't go the way they did. You know, they had the whole McMahon in every corner at WrestleMania 2000, which I thought was stupid. It should have been Rock and Triple H for the title. If Big Show won, though, I mean, look, Big Show had already been WWF champion at the Survivor Series of '99. I mean, he honestly didn't need it, but the fact that you put The Rock over, it was, and again, at the time, it was kind of, you didn't know what was going to happen. Again, Big Show was a part of WrestleMania, so, I mean, in a way, I guess I understood that. But I think that if Big Show went over, I mean, who knows? It could have been on one-on-one. It could have been a triple threat. Rock, Triple H, and Big Show. I mean, at this point, Austin was out. So, speaking of Steve Austin, and yeah, I know this is kind of a... Well, it was obvious that he was going to be the champion after WrestleMania 15 happened, but, and I'll get to that in a second, but having Steve Austin win at the Royal Rumble 99 instead of McMahon, now, I understand now what they were going with, and it was kind of like an obstacle. Okay, let's have Austin get his ass kicked by the corporation, and then The Rock is going to come out, he's going to distract Steve Austin, and then McMahon is going to throw him out, and whatever. But if Austin won, you already had a legit champion, and that would have been cool. You would have had him go on to WrestleMania 15. You still could have had Vince versus Austin at the St. Valentine's Day Massacre in a steel cage. That would have been awesome, but we got what we got. And I think that out of all his wins at the Royal Rumble, I mean, that one would have made sense. And I know that 98 was great too, but just think, you know, 98, 99, I won't get to the other one yet. And then, of course, his win at 2001. So, I don't know. I just think it would have been better. I think McMahon winning was kind of, I mean, it was kind of legitimate. That was going to happen anyways because of the heat that he had. I don't know if that was a good idea, but it is what it is. I'm going to go all the way now to Royal Rumble 90. Now, I mean, we all know what happened there. Also, you look at the match, WrestleMania 6 in Toronto, with Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior, the Ultimate Challenge. Now, the Royal Rumble was okay. You had Hulk Hogan, the WWF champion, win the match. And it's like, in watching Wrestle Talk, I heard that you could have had Perfect, you could have had this guy that I'm going to mention now, Ultimate Warrior, go over. Because let's face it, that match was going to happen anyways, and those two were the last to be in the ring. Okay, but let's see if Warrior, and yeah, he did not have a good reputation, but let's see him win. Let's see him earn the chance to be the champion. He was already the Intercontinental Champion, but still. To have Hulk Hogan go over, and again, I'm not a fan of Hulk Hogan whatsoever, or Terry Bollea, but to have the Ultimate Warrior win, that would have been good. That would have said, okay, Hulk Hogan won twice. Let's have somebody else go over in a new decade. But we didn't do that. Then, I mean, to me, it was a missed opportunity. It really was. But it is what it is. Once again, and I mean, I won't talk about the pick shit of 1992 with Sid. It just, I kind of wanted to see what would have happened if that, if Warrior won. You would have still had the match at WrestleMania 6. And again, I'm probably splitting hairs, obviously, because they were still, I guess, thinking about, okay, who's going to win? And what's going to happen if they win? Are they going to get a title shot at WrestleMania? I don't know if they had those kinks in yet, but who knows? So, I talked about Steve Austin earlier winning the 1999 Royal Rumble. Here's the thing. When you look at this, and I'm going to talk about another instance later, but you have 1996. You've got Bret Hart eliminating Steve Austin with the ref not even paying attention. And I think what happened was, because I didn't think about it for some reason, Austin went in the middle rope, which is obviously not allowed. So he comes back in, he does eliminate Bret, wins the Rumble. Now I'm going to talk about this in a little bit, but the thing that I'm kind of wondering is, what if Bret Hart won? Well, I mean, what was that going to hurt? I think that year, the last 2 years of his WWF run, they tried to make him a legit heel by screwing him over, and I thought that was dumb. I don't know why they had to do that. But the fact is that, yeah, I mean, if he did win, he would technically have been in a triple threat with Sid and Undertaker, or maybe have a match with Sid. But then again, what would they do with the Undertaker? Like, it was cool to see those two have a match, but at the same time, it's like, what if? But then you wouldn't have the match that is in the history books as one of the best matches in WrestleMania, Bret and Austin with Ken Shamrock as the referee. So, I mean, that's kind of the way it is. So, would it have killed whoever to have Bret go over? I don't know. I mean, this is another one of those instances, too, where that year's Royal Rumble winner, that year's Royal Rumble winner didn't go for the championship. I mean, I didn't put him on this list, but you could have had Big Van Vader, but we all know how that went. So, speaking of Bret Hart, there's another match that was interesting because in 1994, 2 years earlier, you had Bret Hart and Lex Luger. I think Bret Hart and Lex Luger, it was kind of like, okay, so you have a new guy in Lex, he comes in as the narcissist, then something happened, I think I had an injury or something, comes back as the new American hero, so to speak, wears the stars and stripes, has a feud rather with Yokozuna, does the thing at SummerSlam, doesn't win the title, and then you have the Royal Rumble match. Now you can look at it both ways. You could go, okay, yeah, both their feet hit the ground, but you know that at least Bret did win the title. And I'm always going to argue this to this very day. Like, if Vince played his cards right, and it eventually would happen WrestleMania 20, WrestleMania 30, have a triple threat. It's always going to blow my mind that Lex Luger didn't get a title shot and win. Like, he always was in the championship scene, but if he didn't lose, he would win via disqualification. They didn't want to put the WWF title, any title for that matter, that I'm aware of, on Lex during his WWF run. And that's a shame. And I've said that before, like, Vince was all about Americana. And there was nobody at that time more red, white, and blue than Lex Luger. And this is coming from a Bret Hart fan. And I just said earlier, hey, Bret Hart should have went over at the Royal Rumble 96. But, you know, it is what it is. Actually, no, sorry, that was 97. Well, anyways, it is what it is. So, there's another one that I thought maybe would be interesting, and I put them on here. And I thought about it, and I'm like, well, I don't know how much sense that would make. Because they weren't really using him at this time, unfortunately. It's Royal Rumble 93. Now, hear me out. Look, I know that you can bring somebody in, and they're white hot, eventually get a big push. And at that time, you bring in Yokozuna. He's a legend in the business by way of his family and legacy. And yeah, that was cool. Now, look, in my opinion, I mean, would it have been interesting to see Bret Hart versus Randy Savage in the main event at WrestleMania 9? Now, obviously, that's not going to work for two reasons. They're both faces, and yeah, if Bret lost to Randy, well, like, it would have, I don't know how that would have worked, honestly, because let's take the other idiot out of the equation for a minute, and let's say have him, Macho Man Randy Savage, and Yokozuna have a feud. Have Yokozuna squash Randy Savage at the King of the Ring, 1993. Have Randy Savage lose and maybe retire from wrestling. Albeit we wouldn't have had that match the next year with Crush. But having Brett and Randy, that would have been epic. Is it WrestleMania worthy though? I don't really know. But I had something else on my list, and I thought, well, I won't put him on there. Hey, spoilers, it was Brock Lesnar. He already won twice. That's just my list. I think that having one wrestler replace the winner, it would have been interesting to see where that would have gone. I might have failed at making this video, I don't know. But it's time to get in my head. But anyways, second video of 2025, I believe. Talk to you later. Bye.
So you know that them cutting WCW was a long time coming. I don't think that's the case at all. If you look at some of his earlier interviews,